it just like sprinkling?
Yeah, I mean, it's just raining. What's up, everybody? Can you turn that down about one notch? All right. We're going to get ready to get started here on the mixer. Those that are just rolling in, I will point out one quick thing. The person that claimed the Kyle Larson spot has since backed out. So if anybody that's watching wants Kyle Larson, you can claim Kyle Larson. $34 on the Larson spot if you would like it. Hey, I can't have music, bud. Or you got to turn it way, way down, okay? Get this set up for our duck race, and we'll get this show on the road. I know I still have a couple people I'm missing payments from for spots. I think I'm still missing Brian Kessler for a spot, and maybe James Ward, I think, for a spot. So whenever you guys can get that in, that would be great. And here we go. This is our duck race lineup, 1 through 12. Steven's got all the odd numbers. So Steven's got, he's got some good odds. I'll take him, but it will be after supper. Oh, yeah, that's fine, Andy. No rush. I'll put you down, man. Whenever you get to it later is fine. Not a problem, my man. Not a problem. All right. Let's get this duck race show on the road. 12 spots. We're going to shuffle them one time. And good luck, everybody. This is winner takes all on the duck race, by the way. Winner takes all on the duck race. There's only, I think, 5 or 6 drivers. So I think it was better that we waited and chipped away at it and did it this way. I was trying to rush it last night, and that was my fault. It was better to wait, just chip away. So it's just my fault for being impatient, I think, more than anything. I knew I wasn't going to have a lot of time today. That was my issue. Now we're good. Now I got plenty of time. All right, Duck 5 takes the win. One of those odd ducks for Steven. His strategy paid off well. So Stephen Hudson will get the duck race win. That's Christian Rose, Corey LaJoy, Daniel Hemrick, Michael McDowell, and Sammy Smith. Those are the duck race drivers. So, put this away, and we'll get ready to go. Show you guys all the boxes first. National Treasures is up top, and I'm going to start with National Treasures tonight. But first, last week's race winner. I know it seems like a while because we had a race yesterday, but last week's race winner, Christopher Bell, the custom winner from Bristol. This is what I came up with for that one. I thought it was cool because it's got his crew back there doing the burnout. You can see the Bristol logo. And then, of course, his wife standing on the wall. I thought that was cool. So that'll go to JJ. And obviously I'll be working on a Ryan Blaney this week. So let's do this. Here we go. There is a football break posted, Monday Night Football break posted. And I think as of when we went live, there might have been about 8 or 10 teams available left. So be sure to check that out if you want to try to grab a team. And the plan for that is going to be to try to break the Monday Night Football break at halftime of the game. So that's why I wanted to start this one at 8. I was trying to time it up pretty well. I think it's going to work out just fine. So as long as it's filled by halftime, then we'll be in nice shape. So here we go. White Sparkle, Tanner Gray. Going to go to Todd. White Sparkle, Tanner Gray. Is there an echo in the room? Gonna go to Todd. And White Sparkle, Matt Mills. Going to the unlisted spot and Storm Ghost. All right. See some big Haley. Big Haley. Oh, you're rooting for Barry. I just sold that gold vinyl 101, Riley. I think Barry had messaged me about it. But I don't think he liked the price I gave him. But I just sold that just a few minutes ago. 22 of 25 rides. Corey LaJoy. That's going to go through to the filler right off the bat. Going to Stephen Hudson. In the filler. And then we got 25 of 35 throwback rides. Michael McDowell, who also unclaimed. First 2 cards of the break are filler cards. Going to Steven. That's pretty wild. Considering there's only, I think, 5 drivers in the filler. The odds of that are pretty low. To go, 1-2 like that. 38 of 99 race used sheet metal. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. You got 3 colors in this. That's pretty nice. Stenhouse going to Storm Ghost. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. went to another Haley collector, so I'm happy about that. Congrats, Storm Ghost. And we got 22 and 99, Sam Mayer. That'll go to Lewis. With the race used tire. And we got a team duel. Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch. That's the bookend. You can call it 99 and 99, which is what it is. Or you could call it 66 out of 66. Austin Dillon is Michael Clay, and Kyle Busch is Thomas Jones Jr. Michael Clay and Thomas Jones. So if you guys can sort it out between yourselves, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll go to a random at the very end of the break. And we'll leave it sit there for a minute. Eventually, I'll move it right here in front of me so I don't forget. 50 and 99 Silhouettes, Carson Quapple. That'll go to Dan Owens. Rookie patch. Excuse me. We do have some minor rain and storms passing through here, so if by chance, something would happen and I'd lose the lights on you, that's why. So figure it's easier to mention it now just in case. But it's pretty minor stuff that we got right here. Rising Stars, Matt Mills. 30 out of 99. That's going to go to Storm Ghost. Cut it in half, Braxton said. Going to Storm Ghost in the unlisted spot. I think somebody said that the last time we had a duel, too. It's pretty funny. Rising Stars, Christian Rose. Another bookend, 99 and 99. And Christian Rose went unclaimed to the filler and Stephen Hudson. We got a dual auto redemption. Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle. Carl Edwards goes to Corey King. And Greg Biffle, Riley Roger. Corey King and Riley Roger on the dual auto redemption. So we'll have another duel for that one. I'm going to move this and that right here in front. And been a bit since we pulled one of his autos. Definitive Ink, 11 of 25. Ty Gibbs, that's 2023 NT. But it's an on-card Ty Gibbs auto. Going to Storm Ghost. Riley says give it to the Edwards spot. So Riley's going to give up his dual part and give that to Corey. So Corey, you owe Riley a beverage. You owe him a Coke or a beer or a coffee or something. Someday down the road, So, all right. Here we go. Get into Prism. Collectors helping collectors. I've said it many times over, and probably haven't said it recently, but I'm telling you, we've got some of the best people in our group that look out for each other and try to really, help each other collect what they want to collect. And I see people tagging people all the time in posts and, all that stuff. Just a lot of good people. That's what it's all about. I think these are the old ones, right? 25 Daytona. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I think I can toss those because they're old. Corey's sending all the beverages. I like it. Silver Pulsar Carl Edwards going to Corey. It was a bit off center. 303 of 399. Absolutely, Sarah. I'll just take water. Riley says, I'll take a water. Fair enough. Andres Perez, blue. Going to go to the unlisted spot and Storm Ghost. 146 of 199. Met Priest and Chastain. I saw the picture that Johnny sent. Newman Victory Lane. Michael Clay just joined us. Mike said give his half to Kyle Busch. So Michael Clay's doing the same thing. He's going to give his part to Thomas Jones and the Kyle Busch spot. So awfully nice of you guys. I better take a moment to write those down. Remembering one will be easy. Remembering two, I'm old, guys. So let me just make a note so I don't mess it up. I'd rather take 10 seconds here and do this than wish I had. And then I'm like having to rewatch the break and figure it out. Just easier to take a moment and do it. Piece of cake. All right. Yeah, I saw that. Sorry, I was messing around with this other stuff. Yeah, I did see Chris. That's cool. That's awesome that you guys got to meet them and hang out with some of those guys. And you know, they're all just people, just like the rest. You know, I try to tell folks all the time, racers, pro athletes, they're all just people. Nobody's really, you know, very few of them are like weird or impersonable or whatever. 296 to 299, Boyer going to Will Black. So, you know, most of them are just like us. They want to just hang out, have a beer, shoot the breeze. Probably not talk about work sometimes, which is fine. Lane Riggs going to Steve Teskey. Sensational Signatures, rookie auto. Riley gave up his Bell Auto bracelet to a young boy who missed out. Riley made that kit. Oh, that's awesome. Good for you, man. Good for you, Riley. That's cool. Very classy. That's what I'm saying. That's awesome. Jeb Burton, red. Gonna go to Storm Ghost. 105 of 299. The auto was going to go to you, Mike. Well, that's okay. I'm quite glad that you did what you did. I am proud that you made that choice, and I think it's awesome. Just like I talk about all the time, you know, I got enough cards I can share. Sure, we all love to grab, you know, this and that, but that's what it's truly all about, man. Keeping the kids interested, you did the right thing. Silver Pulsar, Richard Petty. Going to Michael John Pierce. Freddie, yeah, I assume Freddie can probably have a good time. 168 of 399. Austin Beer. Yeah, that's cool. What's he racing right now? Is he in the modifieds, or what's Austin Beers in now? Is he in ARCA? Sensational Signatures, Jack Wood. Going to Storm Ghost. I don't watch enough ARCA. I like the ARCA races. I need to... It's always because they're at, like, weird times. Modifieds, okay. I thought he was in Modifieds. Silver Pulsar, Alan Kulwicki. Going to Will Blackman. 303 of 399. Sheldon Creed, silver. And Victory Lane, Harvick. I think I forgot to mention at the beginning of the break that the house has 3 spots. I try to always point that out. I don't know why it's important to pet, but I always feel like I need to. So, the house has Casey Kane, Newman, and Tony Stewart. Because I was just trying to help, last night, just trying to help move things. So, Sam Mayer, red. Going to Lewis. 17 of 299. Finished 8th or 9th in Loudon. Beers did. How many cars do they get for those mod races? I guess I have 2 questions about the mod tour for anybody that's familiar with it. One, is it open to where, like, if you go out and put a team together, you can show up and race? Or do you have to be, almost like a charter, like Cup and Xfinity and everything else? Do you have to have a team and be part of? And then 2, how many cars do they start in a race? Is it like 20, 25, 30? Bless you. Brandon Jones, checkered flag. That's sharp. Boy, that's pretty dead center there. Brandon Jones going to Scott Dixon. 19 out of 75. Yeah, that's pretty dead center on that one. Blue, Chase Briscoe. Going to go to Troy. 107 of 199. It's an open series, so as long as you have a car that beats... Yeah, okay, cool. They average about 25 cars. Oh, that's pretty darn good. I wondered. That's awesome. Yeah, old door number for Gibbs. Or not, for Jones, I mean. Need the black and gold. Let's see if we can find it. Why not? That's what I always say, why not? BK, Silver Pulsar, going to go to Dan. 211 of 399. Silver Greg Biffle. Oop, missed that. Pot of gold Bowman. I'm glad I'll try to say this a little bit quieter. I'm glad my little guy, MJ, he's scared of storms still, and he was down in the basement here with me for like the last hour and a half. He hadn't eaten dinner yet because he was scared. And he finally went upstairs. He got up enough courage. It's still raining here, but... So I'm glad he got up there, and he sounds like he's doing okay now. Austin Hill, red. 119 of 299. Going to go to Tony Jordan. And then we got the blue Clint Boyer. White Mountain Motorsport. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Where's that track at, Riley? I got to say, Loudon, 160 of 199. Loudon is probably in my top for tracks to watch a race at. It's definitely in my top 10. It might be like in my top 6. Like, it put on a good race. And every year I forget. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those tracks that doesn't get all the glitz and glam that some of the other tracks gets. And it's like every year I forget how good it is. Because it wasn't just this year. There's been several races up there where I'm like, man, they raced well there. I mean, it's sometimes somebody runs away with it, but it still races good. You know what I mean? Like, still good passing. Checkered flag, Carson Quapple. Going to Dan Owens. Another nicely centered checkered flag. 49 of 75. North Woodstock, New Hampshire. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I know it's not, like, I know if you look at other years, this year was exceptionally good compared to previous, probably, but it still races well. You know what I mean? Like, it's usually not a snooze fest of a race up there. I think the length of the race is also good. 9 of 49, blue National Pride, Chase Briscoe. Going to Troy. Because they only run, 300 laps? And I don't know what the technical distance is for New Hampshire. Is it a mile? But I think the distance makes it interesting. As a Hendrick fan, I can't stand... Yeah, Hendrick... Sawalich, sensational signatures, going to Sea Salt. That's right. See, I forgot all about that, Riley. That's what I mean. You forget all about how... Yeah, it's a mile. Okay. You forget all about how well it races at times, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, it was good. 41 of 399. Going to Will. Casey Kane on the Carolina Blue. I think that's a house spot. Yeah, that's a house spot. 8 out of 49. Are you going to Kansas, Scott? That's this week, isn't it? Are you going? Red. Yep, be there both. Oh, cool. Nice. Harvick red. Going to Will Blackman. 207 of 299. Silver tie Dylan. Yeah, I would agree. Kansas is up there, in my opinion, too. It's another one that sort of I forget about, and then all of a sudden, just kind of like Loudon, all of a sudden there's been a race, and you're like, man, that was pretty good, you know? All right, box 2. I like the track. All the tracks that I tend to like are the ones where there's multiple grooves, or where I feel like the drivers have a say-so. You know, so Homestead and Phoenix are really high on my list. Darlington is really high on my list. Loudon certainly is high on my list now. I actually quite like how Atlanta races. If I were to pick a, quote, super speedway track, Atlanta races really, really good. Yeah, from the line. Yeah, exactly. And see, that's what I mean. I just forget how good Kansas is, you know? That'll be me again this week on Sunday. I'll be like, oh my gosh. Checkered flag, Kurt Busch. Going to Thomas Jones, 31/75. Sensational Signatures, red, Sheldon Creed. Going to JJ. $61.99. National Pride, Chase Briscoe. Yeah, Chicago. I actually kind of like Iowa, too. I know Iowa gets a little bit, like, I don't know. It gets a little bit strung out-ish. 100 out of 399, but I still like the track itself. Gordon going to Robert Rich. I so wish that they would bring back Kentucky and give it another shot with this next-gen car, because Kentucky, I think, would put on a good race now with that new car. And Kentucky just got a bad rap for a while because there towards the end, it was kind of boring, with the old car on the 1.5 miles. Martinsville, yeah. Connor Mozak, red. Going to Jesse. $264, $299. William Sawalich, blue, going to Sea Salt. 3 of $199. So, speaking of Loudon, what did you guys think of the race? Just overall. I mean, I thought the race was really good, obviously. Who won the filler? Stephen Hudson won the filler, Jake. Silver Pulsar, Alex Bowman, going to Storm Ghost. 127 of 399. Sheldon Creed, Silva. Yeah, same, Scott. I gave it the exact same score. On the email, the council email, yep. I gave it a 9 out of 10 as well. I thought it was a really, really strong race. Red Scripps. Nice bit of a color match for Justin Allgaier. Going to Jesse. $48 out of 99. Let's swap him out with Christian just to change things up a bit. And we got a purple Alan Kowicki. Going to Will Blackman. Yeah, I liked the, Goodyear actually is probably doing a tremendous job right now. 76 and 99, because I think Goodyear is making the car raceable. So, suddenly Goodyear's the one sort of making it work, so to speak. But I like the amount of fall off to where you could run 2 tires and make that work for a short period of time. 192 of 199 blue Chandler Smith goes to David Korst. So yeah, I mean, I think they've nailed it with the tires the last 2 weeks, to be honest. Silver Pulsar Cole Custer. Going to Brian. 142 of 399. Yeah, I mean, there was a couple guys that, if you guys remember, there was a couple guys that took 2 tires at certain points to get track position, and they actually made it work for them. Now, it wasn't sustainable long term, but they were able to gain, 8, 10, 12 spots overall by being able to do that. So 37 of 99, groovy red Jeff Gordon goes to Robert Rich. Yeah, Barry was out there just showing what Josh Berry can do, especially after the incident at the beginning. Silver Pulsar Casey Kane. I'll tell you, 298 of 399, Casey Kane is a house spot. I have learned watching Ryan Blaney that Blaney is good at 2 things typically. He's really pretty good at taking care of his car and tires, and he's maybe the best in Cup on long runs. Long green flag runs at most tracks. It seems like Blaney is better than most when it comes to that. 181 of 199, Mark Martin going to Michael Harrion. Yeah. If it wasn't for bad luck, Barry wouldn't have any luck at all these last few weeks. Yeah, I think it's Blaney. I think it's his management of the car and the pace and red Dale Jarrett. 112 of 299 goes to the unlisted spot in Storm Ghost. The other week when we were talking about who do we think could be the champion this year, and I even made a comment that I didn't feel like there was a clear-cut favorite. And especially after this past weekend and giving it more thought, I feel like Blaney is potentially that clear-cut favorite because Blaney's been strong all year. The first half of the year, though, he just had a lot of things go wrong, with part failures and, pit crew mistakes and just everything that could have went wrong for him. He probably would have had another 3 or 4 wins if things would have just went his way. So Christian Eckes going to JR. 231 of 399. Yep, for sure. We got a redemption. Terry Labonte. Legendary Signatures Blue. That's going to go to Billy Joe. And then we got a Mojo Victory Lane. Corey Heim. Those are just pretty. Going to Will Black. Yeah, exactly, Scott. From my perspective as a Larson and Bell fan, the three guys that I collect and root for that are active are Larson, Bell, and Blaney. 5 of 25 on the Heim. And so I'm really just rooting for clean finishes. Get in the top 10, no issue, and and move on. If you can get in the top 5, 6, that's even better. Red C Bell, that's going to go to JJ. 63 of 299. That's crazy. Heim has been on a tear. Silver C Bell also. And pot of gold, Jimmy. Tanner Gray, Silver Pulsar. Going to go to Todd Colvin. 359 of 399. Yeah, for sure. Todd Gillen, another Mojo. That one is unlisted and will go to Storm Ghost. 10 out of 25. Yeah, exactly. That's where the flaw is in the point system, is you could have an amazing year like he's had, and if they have one mistake, one mistake at that last race and not be the champion. And it doesn't even have to be a mistake it could just be a pit crew mishap. Red, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. going to Storm Ghost. SVG has been MIA, unfortunately. Yeah, SVG caught himself 144 at 299 for Stenhouse going to Storm Ghost. SVG found himself around 2 wrecks early in the race yesterday, and I remember at one point when he was running around like 6th or 7th, I kept thinking, man, Larson needs to get clear of him, because I was afraid SVG was going to just get loose and take somebody out, because he's just not used to running, 6th and 7th in these races. And so I know I knock on him all the time, and I probably sound like a SVG hater, which I'm really not. I just, when the talks about him being the greatest race car driver start, then I'm like, I don't know, he's got a ways to go. I think he's awesome. I think he's great. personality-wise, super fun. It's hard to not like him. But all right, last box of Prism. Purple Daniel Dye. I've been meaning to make a post, and I think I said this once already. If you're considering yourself a serious Daniel Dye collector, shoot me a message. 71 and 99. Daniel Dye goes to Michael Clay, because I've got some really, really nice Daniel Dye stuff in on consignment for the mail sales, and there's plenty to go around, per se. So I'd love to find, if there's somebody out there that's seriously collecting him, I'd love to at least give that person or persons an opportunity before I just, start firing off, splitting things up, and because it's a really nice collection of Daniel Dye stuff. So, if you're a serious Dye collector or know somebody that, or even, I guess, if you want to start a new collection, just shoot me a message, because I got some nice stuff of his. Some 101s, some patches, puzzle, a partial puzzle. I think I've got 2 rainbows of his. Like, there's some nice stuff. 127 of 399. Terry Labonte going to Billy Joe. Our next mail sale will be as crazy or crazier than the last one, for sure, when it comes to bigger, high-end stuff. Oh, my gosh. Carolina Blue, Josh Berry, going to David Korst, 16 of 49. Lane Biffle. One thing I wanted to touch on while I've got everybody's attention, or those that are watching attention, Turn 4, the new product Turn 4, has been delayed to October 1, which is only a half a week from the original date. But it is delayed nonetheless to October 1. 81 of 299 for Andres Perez. So when it comes to Turn 4, I'm going to ask you guys for your opinions. Anybody that's watching, you can comment now, or you can message me if you want to share your thoughts or opinions. Pre-sale on that product is at $250 a box now. Silver Tony Breidinger. I still feel like anything over about 160 is really, really high, considering you're getting 3 hits. It's 2 autos, 1 relic, and a parallel or base. 12 out of 99. Dale Jr. National Pride goes to Storm Ghost. So, yeah, that's the pre-sale price, Brandon, is $250 now. It was at $3, now it's at $250. So it has come down. But my question to you guys is, are you guys interested in it? And I know that's hard to say, like what Scott just said. It's hard to have an opinion because a lot of what we look for is involved in the checklist. But just giving me a general opinion, are we interested in Turn 4? If so, what feels to you guys like a fair price for Turn 4 for us? Because what we'd probably do is I'd probably get like I'd probably break like 3 or 4 boxes at a time. Patented penmanship red BK $24.99. BK goes to Dan Owens. And to give an idea, if we were doing like a 4 box break, we would end up a lot of our drivers, just for a real simple reference, it would be similar pricing to what this break was, this mixer. But that would be 4 boxes. You'd have 16 cards. $315 of $399. Silver Pulsar Corey Haim. Going to Will Black. So, like I said, you guys can think on it. If you want to send me a message personally, if you've got an opinion that you'd like to share. Because the thing I don't want to do is I don't want to order, I don't want to buy 3 cases of this stuff and nobody want to, obviously, do breaks or anything with it because of the pricing. And I don't want to push it on anybody either if you guys feel like it's too much. 173 at 199. Going to Braxton. I feel like at 250, for me, like I'm just thinking out loud as far as opening boxes as a collector. At 250, it's a no for me. And even at 200, it would be a really, like, the checklist is going to have to be incredible for me at 200. If we're at like 150, 160, okay. Then I probably am intrigued, Now you're down to like $40, $30 to $40 a card. That's a little more. So, 205 of 299. Red, Jake Garcia, going to Storm Ghost. Think it needs to go under 200. Scott Dixon says, I think it needs to go under 200 a box. James says, to me, it's too high for the return. Corey says, yeah, that's high end. Mix in Don. Yeah, we could do mixers with it. Now, mixers would be easy. I'm just strictly I'm not saying we won't ever break any of it. Because, yes, Brandon, I can absorb, like I can do, a couple boxes of Select, a box of Prism, and 1 box of that, and kind of absorb that cost easier in a mixer. So, I'm not saying that we won't ever break any. I'm just saying strictly from a, straight up break product, you know what I mean? And just looking at it for what it is right now. So, checkered flag, Corey LaJoy. Corey LaJoy goes to the filler and Steven. 37 of 75. Yeah. If it's, yeah, exactly, James. That's kind of where I was at with it, is if the checklist has only got, 50 drivers on it, and it's a bunch of, if it's the top 25 or 30 Cup guys and then another 20 or 25 Hall of Famers, and maybe a couple of the top guys from Xfinity, and, if you got Connor Zilic and Corey Haim and just a few of the better names, Justin Allgaier maybe, you sprinkle in a few of those top guys from the other, but not more than, you probably don't want to see more than about 4 or 5 from either Xfinity or Trucks, really. And no disrespect to, ARCA or the modified series, but that's not the product I'd be looking for their stuff in, So, yeah. Well, my advice to everybody is Checkered flag, Bobby Allison. Going to Jake. 5 out of 75. My advice to everybody would be, if you're considering ordering a box, I would wait. Because I do think the price will have to come down more. And the other thing is, with pre-sales, most of these websites, you know, if you go on like Blowout Cards website on there, it says it's you're entering into a contract. So, you know, you may agree to buy a pre-sale product at $250 a box or $200 a box, but then if it drops to $160, you can't go back to them with your hand out and say, hey, you know, I just bought this. So I would just offer a little bit of concern or caution if you're considering pre-ordering any, because you know, it's like a contract basically. Then you're stuck at that price. So you really can't go back and ask for your money back or whatever. 353 of 399. Darryl Waltrip going to Troy. That the product will be prospect heavy. Yeah. Sensational Signatures, Brandon Jones, red autograph. That's going to go to Scott Dixon. $21 of 99. Yeah, I mean, you guys see how I did this mixer. We did 3 Prism and 1 National Treasures. So when it comes to mixers, we could easily do, you know, like I could do like 2 Prism and 2 Turn 4, or 2 Select and 2 Turn 4, or, you know, even 3 and 2, or 3 and 1, or whatever, and give it, you know, some substance. We wouldn't be far off probably if I did 3 Prism or 3 Select and then 2 Turn 4 boxes. We'd be a little bit higher than this break, but not much higher. But what's crazy is now you're looking at a product that's not National Treasures. And, you know, is that product going to be better than National Treasures? Those are all my questions. But those are the types of mixers that I'll probably look at when the time comes, if the price stays high. So 20 out of 299, red, Kyle Larson, going to Andy Heisey. Silver, Daniel Dye. Pot of gold, Truex. We got 3 Prism packs left. Yeah, and I mean, even with our anniversary break, you know, for me to add a box of that to the anniversary break will be easy. Because it's going to be a big mixer. Massive mixer. It'll probably be the biggest break we've ever done, if I'm being honest. Sammy Smith, Silver Pulsar, going through the filler. 78 of 399 to Steven. Blue Tanner Gray goes to Todd. 196 of 199. Denny Victory Lane. 2 to go. Jimmy Johnson, purple. Going to Dale. 38 of 99. Once we're done with this one, I will get the football break updated. I'm sure there's been a couple spots claimed, or maybe all of them claimed. So once we're done with this, I'll get that updated. And again, once that's filled, if it's filled before halftime of the football game, which I'm not sure where we're at, probably mid-second quarter, I'm guessing. I don't have it on right now, but I'm guessing it's probably around there. But anyway, halftime, we'll break that football break. That's kind of what I want to do on Monday nights, is if we can fill it before halftime, I want to break at halftime. Silver Pulsar Davey Allison. Going to Will Blackman. 145 of 399. Then we got the Sensational Signatures Blue, Austin Dillon. Going to Michael Clay. 10 minutes left in the site. Yeah, see? Perfect. Perfect. 44 of 49 for AD3. Let's swap him out for Justin. I'm not sure that we had a whole lot of stuff tonight that makes you just go, wow. But the break was okay tonight. That's kind of the category I'd put it in. Nothing jaw-dropping, or nobody's going to retire on what we pulled tonight. But okay. So, all right, let me hit you guys with a quick recap. And again, I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate everybody's patience, because I know, again, it carried over for the next day, and I know that everybody doesn't love that. But I'm trying to do my part to make sure that we're, moving things along and, doing it the right way and all that. So, anyway, appreciate, no mags tonight. Yeah, that's kind of a telling sign. If there's no mags, it's sort of average. So, all right, Mojo, Todd Gilliland, and Corey Heim. I guess I forgot completely to mention, and I'll say it now. Next break will be tomorrow night. And it'll be a 4-box select break. 2024, or 2025, excuse me. Select tomorrow night, and I'm going to do a Bad Monkey bonus box with that break tomorrow night. So there'll be some extra stuff as part of that. So stay tuned for that tomorrow night. And we'll probably go with 7:30 posting time tomorrow night. Carson Quapple Silhouettes to 99. Sam Mayer Tire to 99. Sheet Metal Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to 99. 3-color. We had a couple of redemptions. Terry Labonte. Going to Corey King, we had Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle. And then going to Thomas Jones Jr., we had the team duels, Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch. And then our autos, red Justin Allgaier Scripps, red Sensational Signatures Brandon Jones, red Patented Penmanship BK, Christian Rose to 99, Sheldon Creed, a lot of red tonight, Sheldon Creed red Sensational, William Sawalich, Jack Wood, Lane Riggs, and Matt Mills. And then the two on the stands, we got Austin Dillon out of 49, blue, and the definitive ink from last year's National Treasures, Ty Gibbs to 25. So, yeah, I mean, not an atrocious break, but not spectacular either, so just sort of mid, as the young kids say. So, again, that's all I got for now. I appreciate the support. I'll get the football break post updated here momentarily, and we'll be ready to rock and roll at halftime as long as that's filled. So, hopefully we'll see you guys in a little while. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow night for Select at 7:30.